it's Kristyn Burtt for the Web.Files. Have you ever hurtled through space at an alarming rate? Okay, well neither have I. But join us on a fun ride today with the cast and crew of Babelgum's new sci-fi comedy. Come along. Welcome, you guys. I'm gonna just go down the line and introduce all of you. Here we go, Taryn O'Neill, live from the future, Stuart Paap. And then we also have Stephanie Thorpe. It's kind of interesting because you guys are all web celebrities in your own right.
Are you guys hurtling through space?
At an alarming rate?
Yeah.
Oh. Laundry monster.
So I see three of you on the couch, but where is Mike Davies Jr.? There's a lot of noise going on over here.
Look at this.
Oh, yay! Hi. It's the planet of Mike Davies Jr. Hi, Mike
It's my
Davies.
drinking buddy.
Hi. Mike, thank you so much for joining us. I am so excited and all of your awesomeness is here.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I'm absolutely delighted to be in the presence of your awesomeness as well.
Can you tell me what your inspiration was behind hurtling through space at an alarming rate?
Like most of my shows, it kind of just popped into my head randomly late one night. I was in my apartment in Hollywood, and I was trying to figure out sort of a way to shoot something inexpensively in that contained environment, and the original concept that I came up with was something similar about two roommates, and their apartment would constantly change each week into some sort of different environment. And sort of at the same time too, I got the idea for hurtling, like literally the title popped into my head, and I thought, oh, that's cool. So I combined those two concepts.
I know you have a planned 6 episodes, but you have to let me know, where are you going to go with the rest of the series?
We have 6 that we filmed, which are part of an 18-episode arc. It kind of finishes up after those 18, it ties it all in nicely. At that point, we would decide if we want to do, another season.
Fantastic. Well, we want to thank you so much for joining us here on the Web.Files. It was indeed delightful to have you here.
I was just happened to be in the solar system, so I thought I'd come by and say hello.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
It's good to see you.
How did you guys all wind up on the web?
Well, I actually met Mike at a Canadian Christmas party. He asked me if I wanted to be in a short film, so I showed up at the table read, and it was Stephanie's script as well. She had co-written it with Mike, and she was the other actress in it, so I was just basically a hired hand for the short film, and then we started collaborating after that.
We shot After Judgment, and that was the first time that Taryn and I and Mike worked as producing partners. And we loved it, that we've continued that way ever since.
How does Mike deal with having 2 ladies at the helm with him?
Oh, he loves it. Who wouldn't, though?
I know, it's like...
it's actually it's a really good balance between the 3 of us because we all have different personalities.
It's been very empowering for us to be women in the space and working behind the camera as well, and for Taryn and I to work on projects that we care about, and specifically sci-fi projects, which is our true love.
Why is everyone can come into the apartment and leave, but they can't leave?
I'll field that one.
Can
You take care of it.
There's a space-time continuum.
Okay.
And if you multiply that space-time continuum by a certain XY trajectory multiplied by the inverse of what gravity is in outer space, then you get the actual suspension of disbelief that happens when people poured into that door. Did that make entire sense to you?
No, it's not. That's why I think...
Let's move on.
I'm sorry I asked. You're all shooting in Vancouver. How did that come about?
Well, you have 3 Canadians on the couch here, and Mike as well, so we're other and foreign and scary, but we look like you. Half foreign.
Yes, half foreign.
I'm like,
foreign.
you're
Half
Boston,
foreign,
yes.
It just turned
makes
out
it
that it was all the logistics of having the shoot happen so quickly, because we literally went into production 10 days after we got the green light for the show.
So we had a very tiny pre-production schedule, very tiny block of time to shoot it, and we block shot 6 episodes, and
Did you guys just like go up and flew up to Vancouver and away you went?
and away we went.
It's on exclusively on Babelgum. So did you approach them with an idea? Did they approach you looking for an idea?
I actually was in the room when Mike first pitched the show, because we were actually meeting when our executive at Babelgum was at a previous company. We were meeting on After Judgment, and she's like, but you have something comedy. And he's like, well, yes, I do. But he does this pitch in the room, and my face drops, and I'm like, this is the most fantastic sci-fi comedy idea. And so, of course, we leave afterwards, and I'm like, and this is the part that you're writing for me. You know?
By the way.
Yeah, by the way. And that executive went to Babelgum, and she's been a big fan of it ever since.
The length of the series, obviously a lot longer than what we've seen for many series, including After Judgment.
There was a lot to get done in the pilot, establishing that sort of world. I mean, these, you know, a lot of other shows, they sort of have, you know, a narrative that sort of goes over serialized. These are really individualistic. It's almost like a mini sitcom episode where each has its own beginning, middle, and end. And we have a problem in a planet and a monster or whatever that happens in each episode. So
they can stand alone easily.
Yep.
Right. And
we
the
want
good news,
these to be evergreen episodes.
it can go on and on and on because space is infinite.
It is infinite. There's a lot of things hurtling through space. I'm a little concerned about space. We've got, you know, you guys have an apartment. Taryn, you might recognize some people from the crew.
That's my dudes from the crew. Hi guys, you're still in capture.
Hayden Black has a cab floating through space.
Oh, there's Hayden.
And Space Hospital. They've got a whole hospital floating around there.
Oh, the Safety Geeks.
Oh,
Safety Geeks, SVI.
SVI.
I'm a little concerned about the traffic. And
No, we all got
what I run into.
licenses. No, there's a special permit.
There's a
Space license.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that.
And everybody who's seen the effects, the VFX done by Eva Snyder,
Yes, Eva.
is blown away.
And, you know, Taryn and I and Mike at Captain Films, we pride ourselves on having that high production value.
We had this little army of talented, committed people. It really was a joy. And I will say, the collaborative process, it was just like you really saw like what it can be when you're creating with a pure group of people who have the same vision. It was awesome.
All right, you guys, I want to thank you so much for joining us here on the
Thank
Web.Files
you very
and
much.
continued success with your series.
Thanks to you and your amazing crew and for what you guys are doing. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Where do we wind up landing? Planet of Unfinished Web series.
That's right.
That's where we're going?
Yeah, that's where we're going to land. In the words of Mike Davies Jr., it was indeed delightful to have the cast and crew of Hurtling Through Space at an alarming rate here today. They were pretty awesome, I thought. All right, this episode of the Web-Files is now closed. I'm Kristyn Burtt. We'll see you next time.